Alrighty, folks, we are on day 30 of the government shutdown. Again, something I called very early on, and it looks like I might be right. Again, we might have the longest one on record. And to date, the longest one on record is 35 days. This is now the second longest at 30 days. And really, there's no sign of anything coming together. But let's talk about what's what with Mark, the financial firefighter. How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's been seeing you kind of vocal about this, and there's been a lot of maybe some pushback in the comment section. But this person does have a different take on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was on your daily financial news, inflation surprise. So it says, "Love the show, Michael, but just a note on why Congress continues to be paid and why Bernie's point is valid. If the decision makers stopped getting paid until one side folded, then the older, wealthier ones would just hold out longer until the younger, less wealthy were forced to fold due to growing financial burden. It's not a perfect system, but I do understand why it exists. And until we have a better idea, I don't love the idea of just beating up on this one when the alternative everyone is asking for would just breed a different issue that largely benefits the wealthy. Thank you for your attention to this matter."
I certainly understand the logic and the empathy being displayed by that commenter, but frankly, it's crap, at least in my opinion. Um, we're already seeing government employees resort to loans. You don't think somebody in Congress or Senate could get a loan very, very easily to keep ends meet? I think it's a horrible sign of leadership. I think when you are asking, now we're asking not only the military, but now we're asking potentially EBT holders, 42 million Americans, to go without food. And you want to tell me that it's okay for Congress and the Senate to get paid? Frankly, they're not doing their job. They're not negotiating. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. And it's both sides. I'm not throwing stones at one side or the other. I think they're both inept and both suck. And frankly, I don't think I think you should fire them all. I think all of them should go up for re-election and none of them can run. It's just a disgusting sign of the times that we are holding now more and more U.S. Americans hostage. And it's not okay with me. And I think the fact that these elite, powerful individuals are still getting paid when they're asking others not to be paid is disgusting. And I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm just not going to change it. It's wrong. It's disgusting. It's not okay. And it shouldn't be allowed. I mean, these are very powerful people that, if they're living paycheck to paycheck, they could get a loan. And no, I don't think it's okay. I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's been interesting following this journey and seeing how people are, like you're saying, living paycheck to paycheck. And, even for myself, when I first started the firehouse, I was in the federal fire department. So there's a lot of guys that I used to work with. I've seen them all over social media, posting like, "Hey, we got to reach out to your congressman and whatnot, and this is not okay." But yeah, it's very eye-opening.
Yeah, it's not okay.
So this one is on your video, Crash Bros Exposed. So RSTZ2ZN commented, "So I am confused on the difference between doomers and bears. Is the difference if they monetize their channel? Is the difference if they really believe what they are saying? Do not bears also get paid for publishing their opinions? So aren't they also getting paid to be negative?"
So in my opinion, the difference between a doomer and a bear is the bear tells you what to do and how to make money. Because that's the thing that I see with doomers that they don't do. It's all fear. It's all the time. It never changes. It's been the same crap for 3 to 5 years, and you're not changing your tune. That just tells me you're a doomer who is paying, for the clicks. And bears, even the barest of bears will change their opinion when new data comes in. They'll change the pivot, and also bears will tell you what to do. Like, hey, if you believe my thesis, do X, Y, and Z. Don't do 1, 2, 3. Do X, Y, and Z. So, I think there is. I respect bears. I respect bears. I think doomers are evil individuals, and I see a clear black line separating bears and doomers. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not in the convincing business. I've been attacked by doomers long enough, and they're just all evil trolls who are paying their rent by having a bunch of broke people follow them. and their only tool is fear. And I don't think crushing hope is a nice thing to do. So I'm going to continue to call doomers evil because I think they're evil people. I think bears are fine. I think having a bear in your camp, I follow plenty of bears, but I block doomers. No more.
Yeah, I think the big difference too is just, people are entitled to their own opinions too, right? But as long as you're
Of course.
seeing it from both sides, right? So
Mhm.
this one was on your daily financial news, mortgage demand skyrockets. So
Mm.
this individual comments quite a bit. I love their comments. I also see them on X. This is Ross Ferguson, 5786. But he says, you called August the bottom for most of the year. You were 100% right. However, I disagree with you that is a good time to buy unless you have a tax problem and will owe. So you must buy more real estate, needing more depreciation amortization. Does that mean I am right and you are wrong? Absolutely not. All in good fun. I really feel you are underestimating repairs both now and into the future. After I have been screaming about this for months, finally, Ken McElroy is starting to talk about it on Monday's episode. Increasing insurance premiums and property taxes is not the devil. It's the major repairs. This hurts new real estate investors more than us veterans because they have far less cash flow.
Yeah, so let me because there's a phrase in there that the two of you may understand, but the rest of the audience might not be with, and that is the phrase "good time to buy." I am not, nor have I ever told anybody to pay list price. I believe today is the first buyer's market in 12 years. I think it is a great time to buy if you write disrespectful offers, if you find motivated sellers, if you're getting a great deal with today's fixed interest rates. There's lots of ifs and commas and buts in that phrase. But my stance is still valid. It's still a great time to buy if you're willing to do the work and follow up and write great deals and disrespectful offers. Most people aren't, right? Most people are lazy and will write list price, and that's not a great idea. And again, let's be clear to Ross's point. If you're going to get a great deal today, it's going to be from a motivated seller with that probably has a heavy lift in the remodel, right? The value add. So one of the things but for the audience is you better be including that make ready costs in your deal analysis, right? If you're buying a dump, I don't know, let's just say you're buying a 200K property for 100 because it needs 50K in work. You're not going to underwrite that deal at 100. You're going to underwrite that deal at 100 and add 50K in expenses, right? Or capital improvements. So you just got to do the complete picture, and make ready should be included, right? And again, my yield calculation is really brain dead simple. The denominator is down payment, closing cost, and make ready, 50K in this example. And the numerator is expected yearly cash flow. And that's the return. So absolutely right. You've got to include those costs, especially today when you're likely buying a heavy lift value add. So yeah, don't get got. Don't come into this with skinny cash flow, no reserves. It's one way to go bankrupt. It's frankly one way to become a motivated seller, which you don't want to become.
And just like how lumberjack landlord breaks it down, right? Pai Tai, his principal insurance or interest, taxes, insurance, and expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was on your daily financial news also. Mortgage demand skyrockets from Jacob Yatako. And it says, regarding the reasons for the Fed printing, you have two good reasons. What about the Trump installing a yes man possibility?
So I saw that one and I thought about it, and certainly anything is possible. However, as we've seen with the last several Fed meetings, even the guy at the top is only one vote. So one yes man, even two. Let's say he gets two in there. It's not going to be enough to sway a 12 voting member. It could be a problem. It could be influence peddling, sure, but I have to imagine it's not going to be you know, just one person doing this. It is a body of 12 that vote. And I have every confidence that the majority of them will vote their conscience and not follow a yes man. So I agree it's possible, but it's certainly lower than the other two that I highlighted, which was commercial real estate and private credit.
This one you reposted on X. Why? So this is from your video. Why is everyone quitting real estate with the three amigos? So this one it says from David Lynn commented on that video. It says in August 2025, Mike was saying September 2025, the market will start going up. Start going up in sales. Now singing a different tune. And you said, man, haters are everywhere.
Yeah, some people
Hey,
are just morons and idiots. Just freaking stupid. I was right, you idiot. Volume in September did go up. It went up, I think it was 4.1 or 4.7%. It was the best. And not only did it go up for last year, as I said it would, it also went up higher than 2023, which I said it would. So why are you throwing hate, you stupid imbecile, when I was right? So I mean, just just stupid people everywhere. God, dumb people.
yeah, I think it's just the times we're in, right? A lot, it's just short clips people are seeing, or only listening to parts of videos, and they're only taking out what they want to hear, right?
Well,
Um,
clearly he's a doomer. He follows doomers. Doomers throw shade at me all the time. So they're just trying to repeat other doomer stuff when I was right and the doomers have been wrong for 5 years. So it's whatever.
so I think you came out with a bunch of videos recently, Anna Kelly, kind of
Hmm.
three shorter videos, and they were all great, had a lot of great comments on them. So Punakar, who I really enjoy his comments, and he puts a lot of great ones in there. But this one was from your video, I am a financial loser.
Mm.
And it says this could have been a 2-minute video. Basically, Michael is spot on. So it says the 9-minute 55 second to the 11-minute 50 second portion of it. And basically, that part of the video, you and Anna were discussing about kind of moving. Sometimes you may have to move, maybe move
Mm.
country. But yeah, can you dig into that a little bit more?
Yeah. Again, the setup for this was I found a X or a Twitter post from somebody who said that they were a financial loser, and they listed a bunch of things. And in reality, it's great to own where you are, but sometimes you beat yourself up a lot. And as I remember that story, this individual has a college degree in cybersecurity, right? A pretty hot space. And one of the things that were proposed there at the end was it's time to move, right? You got to go to where the jobs are, right? It was unclear in that post where this individual was, but the fact that they can't get a job in cybersecurity and they're delivering pizzas, I think it was, they should move. And sometimes moving is the right answer. And I know we're comfortable where we are, but sometimes growth is on the other side of comfort, and many times it is. So sometimes you just got to get up and you got to move.
And like I said, these videos got a lot of great comments. And on that video, someone says, loves this episode's more like Dave Ramsey style. That can bring more audience willing to listen and make it move. Thank you for your time. So is this maybe a new format you're looking into doing?
Yeah, I mean, I would love help from the audience. I need to find the posts, like of people documenting where they are. We've done at least two of these here in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'd love to do more of them, but I'm the only one looking for them now. So, but yeah, if you can find them, take a picture of it, send it to me. I would love to do more of these, and if I get a lot of them, I'll do them with more than just Anna. I'll have other millionaires chime in. But I like to do them with Anna if I only have one, because she comes at this from a private banking Dave Ramsey background, so it's fun for us to sometimes see things differently.
So on that point, you had another video with Anna, and it was help. I am 49. And so
I remember that one.
Punakar,
Yeah.
yeah, so Punakar also commented, my dad passed away when he was 49. My
Mm.
brother and I were teenagers. My mom wasn't working at that time, and we didn't own a home. The question on this person asked was, what would I do in retirement? My question to them is, what would your family go through if something suddenly happened to you? I know
Mm.
what we went through, and it wasn't pretty. I vowed I wouldn't put my family through it if I passed away early. I'll turn 49 soon. I have saved enough, invested in a way that is very low overhead, and even
Mm.
documented how to best utilize and grow what I have. By doing so, now I have built a situation where not just my wife, but even my teenage kids wouldn't have to work in their lives, and they could just follow my playbook. So,
Mm.
flipping the script, those of you who have been investing for a while, how have you prepared your family to live a comfortable, stress-free life if something happened to you?
He brings up so many amazing things. I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times, which I've truly enjoyed. I think not enough of us think about that. Now, when you're early in the journey, it may be, you may have other items to focus on, but if you can get through the first 5 years of suck and you can start to see that momentum, I think it behooves all of us to kind of step back and go, God forbid, hit by a bus or whatever you want to call it. Um, what does your family do? And I'm reminded of the gentleman in Colorado with the Lamborghinis, Mark, I think his name was
Mark Ferguson.
Ferguson. Yeah, I'm communicating with his wife still to this day, and she's been through a lot. And Mark did some documentation, but not a lot, and it's really forced me, seeing and hearing and just really feeling her struggle to really lock in and make sure that Olivia and Teresa know where everything is, know what I would do with it. God forbid I wasn't here. And I have stuff in lots of nooks and crannies, so putting that all on paper and somewhere they can get it is important. And yeah, it's definitely something more of us should think about. Punakar's right.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because even Cody Davis, that's kind of his vision towards the end because
Mm-hmm.
we were discussing that on my channel. He was saying that's also why he may prefer like a, bigger multifamily unit than multiple single family homes because it's easier to pass down and
Sure.
typically it can be under like professional management and
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So that's kind of the way he's looking at it.
Makes sense.
I'm going to kind of wrap these kind of maybe into one question comment. Also, I'm not sure if so Frank, old guy REI, who
Mm-hmm.
big staple in the community,
Mm-hmm.
he's pondering selling a property. It's been a problem. He's
Mm-hmm.
they got it renovated, ready to get Section 8, and while they were waiting for the tenant, it got broken into. Someone did all this damage, so they're on the fence. But so these two comments. So one was on your video, why failing at 30 was the best thing ever. It says
Mm-hmm.
another great video. Thank you. I had a few failures this year. I needed this message. And then also Charles McCune on your video on why is everyone quitting real estate says, how do you know when buy and hold or should turn into buy and sold like you did?
I think that's a great thing. And Frank is a member of our school community, and he posted like, "What should you do?" And I said, "Sometimes you got to sell." So something Olivia and I have done for years is at the end of the year, usually around tax time, we look at our portfolio, we see how each one performed individually by the numbers, and then we also said which one caused us the most headaches. And the best example of this was a triplex that we owned for many years. It was always, it never, I guess it lost money a couple of times, but it was always like barely positive, right? We just bought it right. And it was still just barely positive. But year after year after year, I think it was 3 years in a row, 80% of our headaches were this one building. Just one little, I mean, when you have a portfolio that's nearly 200 and a triplex is 80% of your problem, it's time to sell. And, we tried everything we could. We probably kept it a year longer than we should. But when it was, that third year, we just sold it, right? Sometimes you're just snake bitten. Sometimes the neighborhood turns, I don't know, but we just sold it, moved on. And, we did that recently with a duplex as well here in the last 12 or 18 months. It's like, just like this one's a problem. And sometimes you gotta sell, you gotta get smaller so you can get bigger, right? Just because you bought it, just because you got a good rate, just because you want to say you own 4 or 6 or whatever, if it's a problem, sell it. There's nothing wrong with getting, like there's nothing wrong with clearing the head, right? Clearing the mind. And yeah, I would highly recommend Frank if he's in that situation where he feels snake bit and it's far away and all those things, sell it, move on, get something closer, upgrade the asset. And there's nothing wrong with selling a problem property, right? There's no victory in holding on to a stressful property. So yeah, sometimes you got to sell.
Yeah, and you did repost that one about that individual that said, I've had a few failures this year. I needed this message, and you said, yeah, I fail all the time.
Yeah. All failure is a part of growth, man. It's often painful, sometimes physically, lots of times mentally. And you gotta get used to failing. I think failing is getting used to it. It's like a callus. I don't avoid failing. Don't live in it either, right? Don't stay in it, right? The only, if you're going to go through hell, keep going, right? But yeah, failure is a great teacher, and learn the lesson. Don't repeat them. That's really failure to me, is when you learn a lesson and then you don't learn it, you repeat it. That's where stuff gets stupid. So learn the lesson, don't repeat.
Yeah, so it's been a kind of bumpy ride for a lot of people this year in the community, a lot of ups and downs. I think that's why people are getting very excited for the ORAD event coming up in
Yeah.
February. And there was this comment that kind of caught my eye. And so
Mm-mm.
it's from your mom. It says, Michael, I just got my veteran ID, so I'm now able to fly. So save a seat in the back for me in February. Love your mom.
Yeah, Dorothy Zuber is coming to the event. She doesn't have a driver's license. What is why she meant that she is a veteran, so she got her ID so she can get through TSA. And she has not seen us in Vegas yet, so she's going to come out to Vegas, see the house, let us spoil her for a little bit, and she's going to spend 2 days with us at the event. So I I just hope my community, you know, gives her some big hugs and takes a bunch of pictures. And there's nothing like a son's love for his mom. So it will be fun for her to be in that room. I hope she's proud. So we'll see. That should be fun.
All right. So everyone, if you haven't, go reach out, take pictures, show her some love.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's kind of maybe stick on the event, possibly some questions that
Sure.
have come up in the school community. There is
Mhm.
one. Someone was asking, is there a speaker list where they can go look at because they want to start preparing their questions?
I thought I posted that in. I think there's an agenda I thought I put up. If I haven't, I will. But if there's an agenda, there's also the speakers. They're there. There's a couple that are blank on purpose because I'm trying to surprise some things. But yeah, the general list of speakers should be there on the agenda. And if not, I'll check after this and I'll get that put on this weekend. I think it's
and
there.
for those that maybe haven't been to the event yet, why would this person need to or want to prepare questions ahead of time?
Oh, that's a good question. Because again, one of the things that makes my event very different is every speaker will get about 45 minutes, but they'll only talk for 30. And then there'll be a microphone, at least the last 2 years on the left side, where you can line up and ask them questions. So again, you'll be able to interact with all of them. This is not a death by PowerPoint. This is a celebration, a family reunion, if you will, and a place to go get your questions answered. I do this all the time for you, the audience. So yes, prepare, ask questions, and the beauty is most of the speakers will be there for both days. So if you can't get to all the questions, you can corner them somewhere, and I'm sure they'll answer them there.
And just letting you know, when you say family reunion, it actually means a lot to a lot of people in the community that have said that they love when you're actually mentioning that when you're talking about the event.
It feels like it to me. I mean, it's I don't know what else to call it. It certainly feels like a family reunion to me. It does.
And we do know that it takes a lot of work and time for you to put this event together. And it was kind of tossed out there
Mm-hmm.
because people are like, oh, he has to do it every year. Because I know you kind of, in the beginning, you're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. But
Yeah.
is it a possibility if there was someone that, I don't know if you paid them or what, but were you like your event coordinator, would that be a possibility for you?
We'll talk about that after this one.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to. It's and let's be fair, Jen.
That's it.
Jen. Yeah, Jen is helping already. So she's taken one of the hardest things is frankly the name badges. Right, the first year I just didn't do them. The second year I had a custom, lanyard, and then you hand wrote them, right? Because names are spelled, and it's just like these little details just consume so much time. And she's taken one of the heavy lifts off my back. So you know, even that little thing that probably saves me, I don't know, 10 hours of work, but probably 50 hours of stress. So she's already helping.
All right. So we'll wrap this one up with the school community. It keeps growing, and there's
Hmm.
going to be possibly another accountability group formed. I think there looks like there's that short-term rental
I hope
midterm
so.
space, and they're
Yeah.
kind of asking, how do they get that set up with you? Like, what do they need to do? I guess.
So a couple of things. So first, I did already add. So there's these subcategories. So I already added the STR midterm rental. It's now there. So they already have their category. If they want to do an accountability group, I do ask for two things. One is I want a sponsor and a co-sponsor. So I want two people because what will happen is one of you can make it, the other one can't. So I'd like to have two people own that together. And then I just need a reoccurring Zoom link sent to me and the date and like what day of the week and time you want because it has to be reoccurring. And I'll post it and you'll be good to go. It's really simple.
All right. Well, that's all I got for this week.
Awesome, man. You're amazing. Where can people find you? And if they still want to reach out and get the first month reimbursed at school, what do they do?
Yeah, find me on Instagram, Facebook. Just message me, Financial Firefighter. I'm on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah,
check
DM
me
him
out.
on IG, and he will take care of you. Mark, you're amazing. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for having me.
Mhm.